Shri Vincent Palaji.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak about the motion of thanks to the Honorable President. Sir, I join hands with all the colleagues who have spoken about the motion of thanks. Sir, the Honorable President has spoken about Northeast, especially the development in the Northeast in the present government. I come from the Northeast, but very unfortunate, the President fails to mention about the socio-ethnic and religious problems in the Northeast in Manipur. In Manipur, for the last 8 months, there's no internet. Why? Because the government doesn't want the people of India or the rest of the world to know how they failed in Manipur. In Manipur, out of 119 camps, relief camps, the conditions is deplorable. When Manipur is affected, the whole of the Northeast is in a problem. The border between India and the rest of our neighbor countries has been mishandled. Today, the Northeast, as I stand here, full of drugs. Therefore, there's a rise, almost 70% of drugs in the Northeast because of mishandled by the government. In Nagaland, almost 10 years after signing the framework agreement between the government and the stakeholders in Nagaland, there's no decision because of ego, because of lack of knowledge about the culture, the language, the history of Nagas. Nagas, they have a unique culture. Nagas, they have a history. Therefore, this government blindly signed an agreement without a conclusion. They know how to sign an agreement, how to market, but they don't know how to conclude the problems of Nagas. Therefore, in the Northeast, if the problem of Manipur and Nagaland is not solved, the solution in the Northeast is far from reality. So what is written, what is spoken, prepared for the Honorable President has been misled by the present government. I demand that the government take serious of the problems of Manipur and Nagaland. Then only there will be a development for our people in the Northeast. The Honorable President also talked about education in the Northeast. She failed to mention about the ambitions and aspirations of the people of Meghalaya. The Khasi language and the Garo language, which has been decided unanimously by the Legislative Assembly of Meghalaya 5 years ago, that this should be listed in the 8th schedule in the Constitution of India. The BJP has made lips promises, false promises during the election, but till date, this has not come to reality. So the people of Meghalaya are still waiting and being fooled by the central government. So I demand from the government that the Khasi language and the Garo language should be included in the 8th schedule as per the aspirations of the people. Then only the education for the people of Northeast and the process should be started as soon as possible. Sir, for the last 10 years, this government has come in power. I'm a Christian. I could understand the insecurity amongst the Christians. Be it at any time, whatever functions happens, the Christians are at the receiving end. One of the issues, for example, in Manipur also, More than 300 churches has been burnt, demolished. And people, more than 500 pastors, nuns, and priests has been arrested for silly cases. This is the problem. This is the fate of the Christians. There's an increase of almost 200% in terms of harassment to the Christians for the last 5 years. Recently, if you've seen in social media and the news, we always feel proud that the Ram Mandir celebration has been done as a Christians. But if you see, the same time, people used to put flags in the churches on top of the statue of Christ in many churches in India. So it's an insult for the Christians. Christians are only 2.3 or 2.5%. They have contributed a lot in terms of capacity building and education building, or the nation building in terms of education and social works. But the way the treatment they have got from the central government and the respective state government run by the BJP, it's really a harassment, and the social boycott in many incidents against the Christians is a concern for all of us. Therefore, I demand from the government that the safety of the minority, safety of the Christians should be taken care, and until unless we consider, until unless every citizen has the right to worship, has the right to live, I think the progress of India will be hampered. So another very important thing, tribals, be in the northeast, be in any parts of India, they feel insecure for their jobs be taken away. In Meghalaya, my state, in Manipur, they have demanded for inner line permit. Manipur, the government has given the inner line permit. Whereas in Meghalaya, a consensus has been taken in the floor of the House by the Meghalaya State Legislative Assembly. But till date, no action, no decision has been taken by the government of India. So the people of Meghalaya think if they don't take a decision or they don't take a decision, I think they are not competent. Therefore, the youth of Meghalaya and the people of Meghalaya are losing faith in the central government. So I demand that a decision on this issue should be taken so that the people's hopes and aspirations will be fulfilled. Another very important, the Honorable President has mentioned about roads and connection and connectivity in the Northeast. The National Highway number 6, which connects between Assam and Meghalaya, as I'm speaking today, almost every week, 2-3 days, there's a jam and blockage. Every week, at least 1 or 2 people will die on the road because of accidents. The road is in very deplorable conditions. We have written to the Honorable Minister, we met him, we thought that to expand, to widen the road, but no action has been taken, not even repaired. Therefore, I think it's very important for the government, central government, to take action on these issues. Until and unless we have a proper road connectivity, a proper road, good road, and good conditions of the road, I will not be able to develop. And the connectivity for the Barak Valley especially are going through the National Highway 6. So another very important, the drug abuse in the Northeast. As I said, because of the porous in the border, there's an increase of almost 70% in the last 9 years in terms of drug abuse to our youth. And in Northeast, there's almost 6.34% of the consumptions of drugs, and compared to only 2.06% in the national average. So 3 times of the people who have fallen prey to the drugs because of unemployment, because of development of the people of Northeast. Therefore, I suggest that a special law should be taken, a special law should be framed so that the people of the Northeast and the youth of the Northeast should be promoted, should help to solve the problems from the drug abuse. And another last point is like employment and poverty. I come from a state with matrilineal society. I could see that many of the women, many of the young people, when they are unemployed, and so many single women who take care of the family. So the government should have a policy to take care of the tribals who are not employed, but who are taking for the family, for the education of the children. So with Haryana story, where the youth of Haryana wants to go to Israel to get a job, same souvenir from the Northeast, they also have that aspirations that they should get a job wherever it be for their livelihood. Therefore, I request the government to take a serious issue for the employment of the people of the Northeast as well as the whole of India so that they can fulfill their promises during the elections. So with these words, sir, thank you for giving me time. I conclude my speech. Thank you, sir.